There are 15 well-known Myers-Briggs personality types, with INFJ being the most uncommon. According to studies, this personality type accounts for less than 2% of the world's population. Let's have a look at the weird signs that someone is an INFJ. If you can identify with any of these, you may be a member of the group known as the advocates, commonly used to refer to someone who is an INFJ. Let's jump right into it. 1. Different than the rest. Do you feel as though you don't belong with your friends and coworkers? Even when you're with your pals, you don't feel like you actually belong. This is how most INFJs feel the majority of the time. For these people, the adage "lonely in a crowd" is more accurate than ever. Perhaps you have even feigned your personality on occasion in order to relate to others. This is entirely natural for INFJs because they need to feel connected to others. 2. Social life. For INFJs, the distinctions between introverts and extroverts on the social spectrum are hazy. They can be the most talkative or charming individuals that you have ever met or seen. If they are with people they care about, they will crack jokes and be intimate and hilarious. When the company is not the closest to them, the contrary is also true. They become incredibly reserved and bashful in instances like this. Looking at the same individual in these two settings, it would be difficult to believe that they are the same person. When it comes to INFJs, your social behavior is heavily influenced by your mood and energy levels, as well as the people around you. 3. Social battery. Drawing in from the previous point, INFJs sort of have a social battery of sorts. If they go too long without socially interacting with their friends or people they care about, they get the urge to reunite with them. A thing to note is that this is true only for the close group of friends that you trust. These people improve your mood, and they can even affect how you feel for the coming days. 4. Handling problems. When it comes to handling problems and issues, INFJs are very unique. If someone comes to them with a problem that they are facing, they only lend a listening ear for the most part. They don't try to give advice or opinions until the other person asks for it. What they do instead is that they help the other person understand the situation and problem better by asking questions and giving them other perspectives to look at. They can even further help them by telling them about similar experiences that they have gone through, hoping that the other person would learn a lesson from your experiences. To an INFJ, it might be clear what to do in a said situation or problem, but they feel like they don't want the other person to do it just based on your advice, and you want them to reach this conclusion on their own. An interesting bit of trivia is that this is the reason why INFJs are so commonly found in roles where advice is valued, for example, being a counselor. 5. Sensitive inside. Even if you have a gruff exterior or a cold personality, INFJs are usually quite sensitive on the inside. Even if you don't wear your emotions on your sleeve, this may lead to others being hurtful to you or not caring about how you feel. When this occurs, INFJs typically isolate themselves from those who have harmed them. You prioritize your own well-being regardless of whether the individual who wronged you was a longtime friend or a new coworker. It's not that INFJs enjoy cutting people off. It's rather about them caring about and defending themselves. One disadvantage of this trait is that they are overly concerned with other people since they are sensitive on the inside. This can lead to INFJs being people pleasers in a way that is not necessarily a good thing. 6. Thirst for knowing the truth. INFJs have an unquenchable thirst for obtaining the truth. They do not care about what is presented to them on a surface level and dig in deeper to find out the bigger picture. They can identify a lie or an incomplete truth in the blink of an eye. They have a high level of insight which allows them to distinguish between what is true and what isn't. This also applies to seeing through people and the facade that they put up for the world to see. INFJs do not care about such shallow lies, and they can see the person's true character. They also self-reflect a lot in order to get closer to the truth about themselves and who they are as a person. 7. Dreamers. INFJs are persons that are very in touch with their dreams. They are constantly unknowingly attempting to decode the abstract meaning of underlying things. Their mind works in a way which is closer to the state of dreaming for most people. This means that they process information in a way which is more akin to a dreamlike state. This can also explain why these people find it difficult to separate their dreams from reality. 8. Dealing with stress. When INFJs are stressed, they tend to fall down in a rabbit hole of escaping. This escapism seems to be their only solace in troubling times. In moments where they are highly stressed, they let go of all restraint and let loose. This can come in the form of spending all their money impulsively or binge eating junk food. On some occasions, they can also just let go of it all and go on a trip unannounced to some faraway place for who knows how long. Other times, this pent-up energy from dealing with stress can also be released by doing something productive as well. This can be things like cleaning out your room or doing your laundry or even exercising to take your mind off of things. 9. Understanding emotions. These people are usually very good empaths. This means that they are quick to detect and understand the emotions of other people. This is one of the skills that INFJs have, which makes it easy for them to detect external emotions. But this also makes it harder for them to understand their own emotions. They can often get lost trying to make sense of their inner feelings. They process their own emotions differently and are much harsher towards themselves when it comes to judging. A trick to understand your emotions better, if you are an INFJ, is to write them down or to talk to yourself out loud. This can help externalize what you are feeling, which in turn makes it easier for you to process and understand. 10. Conversations. These people are instantly bored by small talk, and they don't care for it in the least. They get more disinterested the longer the small talk goes on. This is because INFJs enjoy complex and deep conversations. They want all of their conversations to have a deeper meaning or for them to be helpful to them in some aspect of life. For them, the world is filled with infinite layers of complexity, and they feel like it's their responsibility to uncover and understand this complexity. And one way they can do this is by having conversations like this with the people who understand them and can bounce off of their energy. This is also why they prefer meaningful talks over small talk, which serves no purpose in their eyes. 11. Drive to do it better. They always have this constant feeling of wanting to do better with what they have. They want to utilize their time to the fullest, and even then, they feel like they could be doing more. This is why these individuals are extremely self-driven, and they focus a lot on self-improvement. Improvement can come in many shapes and forms to them. This may mean learning a new skill like cooking or coding, improving their physical and mental health by devoting time for exercise and meditation, or even pushing themselves to be better people by adopting better habits and discarding bad ones. 12. Cultured tastes. As much as it sounds like a pretentious quality, it is very much true. INFJs care a lot about presentation and how things look and feel. They care about the quality of things and how they are made. Status is important to them, which is why they focus on wearing good and eating good. These people would rather have one item of high craftsmanship than owning multiple subpar ones. This applies to the things they wear, to the things they eat and drink. 13. All or nothing mindset. INFJs function in a way which is very polarizing. They can either give their all into something that they are doing or not care at all. They are filled with passion and motivation for the things that they like to do, and they perform those tasks excessively. They can work on the same thing for hours on end and not notice. They can have a strict discipline and an iron will to do whatever they want to achieve. The opposite of this can also be true, and they cannot care at all about things at times. It may seem like they have given up on something and they won't even try to do something about it if they had made up their mind. They put in no effort in things that they do not want to do. They constantly switch from one extreme to another. This may help them in finding their calling, and it may also deter them from finding it as well. 14. Decision making. These individuals make decisions based on both well-informed insights and their emotions. They do not keep grudges and are quick to forgive past wrongs. Instead, they examine the problem as it currently exists. They attempt to comprehend the situation in its entirety and arrive at a conclusion affected by both emotion and reasoning. They typically do what their hearts tell them to do, and that feeling is almost never wrong for them. 15. Analyzing. INFJs have a proclivity for studying other people and what they say. They tend to immediately recognize what the underlying thoughts or emotions are when someone says something. They can interpret the deeper meaning in things in a similar way, which allows them to be perfect to resolve issues. They do not jump to conclusions, carefully consider all the options, and understand everything thoughtfully before taking any actions. They are extremely good at making two sides listen to reason and to help them find common ground. This is why people frequently resort to them to resolve their conflicts and misunderstandings, because they believe that they will figure out a way to do so. That was mostly it for the weird signs that you might be an INFJ. If you related to any of these, you might be an INFJ as well without knowing about it. How many of these thoughts do you relate to? And what are your thoughts and experience regarding these? Let us know in the comments down below. Remember to subscribe to our channel and to ring the notification bell. It really helps us out. Check out some of the other videos we've done on this channel.